This video will be a detailed guide on how to use the defensive button controls in PES 2012 and how to use them to the best use and the combinations of uses. I am playing on a PS3, so some of the controls I'll say may sound confusing, but I'll try to notify them as, special contain button or press button. From time to time I'll use R2 and stuff like that, but I'll continue. So I would say practice these in the defensive training drill as well. The first thing you want to do when you're playing defense is be face to face with the defender, right? That's how you defend your goal. When your opponent is in front of your goal, you want to cut out his way so he can't shoot. So that means you want to cover goal side, and you want to make sure he can't get a shooting spot. Only the ball has to see the net. Don't worry about where the attacker's body is. Only worry about where the ball is. So cover goal side, meaning cover the. I'll show you what I mean. So cover goal side means cover the side that the ball is on. Cover goal side and ball side. It's very easy to win the ball. Now I'll get back into the explanation of how to play defense on the PES 2012. First, you want to know the hold-up technique, okay? You're not going to use this all the time, but I just want to tell you what it is first. It's the pace control button combined with the press button. And what this does is it allows you to lock in on your attacker, like so. So I'm holding two pace control button and the press button, and I simply lock in on my attacker. This isn't how you want to play defense, by the way. You don't want to rely on this heavily. I'm going to show you what to do next. But first I'm just going over the button uses. Okay, then there's holding the special control, the R2 button, or on Xbox that's called pace control button. So if you hold that button, your defender will strafe. You see? He's going to stay facing the attacker. But with this you have more manual control. So that's another button that you want to know. And then you have the left analog stick by itself. I'm just holding left analog stick. I'm not holding strafe, I'm not holding contain, nothing else. Just left analog stick. The player will still strafe from time to time if you don't move the left analog stick too much, and he will also be able to backpedal and turn his hips and run better. Again, that's left analog stick by itself in defense, by itself, nothing else. I can still back up and defend. Another benefit of using the left analog stick is I can turn completely. I can turn my hips completely and run. I press turbo, run faster, slow down, turbo, run faster. Okay. Then there's the press button. That's holding X or press button by itself. That lets you automatically chase after wherever the ball is. It doesn't matter where the ball is. It could be 20 miles away. If you hold X, he's going to run there like he's looking for some gold or something. So you hold X and he's going to run to the ball. I'm holding X and nothing else. Okay. Now I'm going to combine them to tell you how you really want to play defense. Ideally, most of the matches, you're going to be holding left analog stick by itself and positioning your defender into position on the field and where he should be, cutting up passing lanes and getting into space. So holding left analog stick by itself to play defense is usually what you want to be doing. See? Cutting out passing lanes, strafing, stopping shots. That's only with the left analog stick. 80% of the matches, you'll only be pressing that on defense. Secondly, you want to use a manual strafe. So R2, sometimes I tap it to line back up with him. Sometimes I let go. Just practice with that. Just try tapping it, holding it, letting go, and moving your player manually to reposition yourself. I'll show you that again. So R2, I'm holding R2, I let go of it, hold it, let go of it, hold it, let go of it, turn my hips. You see what I mean? If I let go, I can turn my hips. If I don't let go, he'll continue to strafe. Now, if you hold R2 and your player is trying to beat, your attacker tries to beat your defender, you can press turbo and he'll automatically turn his hips and run. So I'm holding R2 plus turbo and he runs. Again, I'll show you quickly. R2 plus turbo, holding R2, then press turbo, he turns and runs. R2 again, lock up. Okay? Now, sometimes you only want to cover goal side. You don't want to lock in. You don't always want to be face to face. Sometimes you want to be on an angle like this, right? Covering your defender. That's when R2 is useful. You can also not use R2 and do that as well. Look. See? I'm not using R2, but I turn my hips. R2 makes me squares up. You want to get used to what these things do and how to use them. Now, sometimes I want to lock in. I'll just try to beat this defender quickly. Okay, so I'm going to try to beat this first lesson quickly. Okay, so I'm locked in, I let go, I back up, I lock in again, I go for the ball. Just practice it, you'll get it eventually. But like I said, typically you don't want to be facing up on defenders. You want to be loose, like not pressing anything, holding R2, sometimes locking in when I get danger zones. R2 and X and special control, pace control, plus the press button is usually best for locking in when you're inside of danger situations, such as if you have a player on the wing and you don't want him to cross it, you want to lock in so he can't get a shot off or cross in. You also want to alternate between locking in with the pace control and the press button and pressing strafe by itself. So now I'm locked in, I let go, I back up, I lock in again, get closer, back up, I win the ball. So there is no one way. You want to use them in the best ways and you'll figure it out eventually. Now I'm locked in, I back up, I win the ball. So now all I'm using turbo and left analog stick. I get into position, turn my hips. Only left analog stick is being used now. I get closer, I get beat. You want to position yourself in front of the player. I'll just beat this so I can go into the press control. I think you guys get it. Anyways, if you need any other questions or tips, just leave me a message. I'll show one last example of a really good defensive technique. I'll just combine everything I just said a while ago. And you can assume what I'm doing. You'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so I back up, no, only left analog. I'm scoring up with left analog. I turn my hips, turbo, and I defend. That's how you want to defend. You're going to have teammates helping you defend, so you don't have to worry as much. This training tutorial is only that, a tutorial. Practice in the matches, cutting off lanes, and practice all the buttons and know when to use them and when to apply each button use. And know that most of the match you'll only be using left analog stick to cover lanes and play defense. And lock in with R2 plus X or pace control plus pressure when you're in danger situations and you don't have help and you want to hold up play so your teammates can help you and come back and help you in defense. Hope that helps. Cheers.